The Valvoline Motorsport Ireland Forest Rally Championship in association with the following sponsors. Welcome to the scenic Suir Valley, which divides the three counties of Tipperary, Waterford and Kilkenny, and is the setting for the opening round of the championship, the Willie Lockman Forest Rally.
It's that time of the year again. It's round one of the Valvoline Motorsport Ireland National Forestry Championship. And what a star-studded lineup of entry here, with multiple champions taking the field. Carrick on Shore Motor Club with clerk of the course Barry Duggan have put on 6 impressive stages, but all talk is of stage 5 and 6 with over 22 kilometres of demanding driving.
Seated number 1 in a top-class entry list is reigning tarmac champion and multiple British champion Keith Cronin, who swaps his Citroën DS3 for a Ford Fiesta R5.
We haven't had much of a test in it, so this is our real first event in it, so I don't know how they'll compare, but I'm sure we'll learn as the event goes on.
While some hadn't far to travel for this event, 2016 Forest champion Desi Henry took the more circuitous route to begin his title defence.
Desi, a bit of a detour to get you here today.
Yeah, we went to the Cambrian Rally yesterday and we always had the intention of coming here as well, but we arrived there was very, very heavy snow and it was very, very dangerous conditions, so eventually that rally was cancelled, so we decided to come here and try to defend the Irish Championship.
Former champion Josh Moffat and older brother Sam were also in attendance in their combi lift Fiestas.
Yeah, there seemed to be a great entry list here and loved the good battle, so we decided to come down last minute, just down this morning, so looking forward to it.
It's anyone's for the taking, really.
Yeah, I think so, definitely, and the stages out there are so tricky and technical, like it's going to be interesting.
Let's take a look at those stages now, and there are 3 compact tests for competitors, each done twice. A Henny, the shortest, is followed by Slieve Namon, with both repeated before 2 runs over the 22-kilometre Gurcheen stage, which lies just over the border in County Waterford. Quickest out of the blocks was Sam Moffat, who led younger brother Josh by 4 seconds after the opener. Second quickest in stage 2, Sam still held the lead, but it wasn't Josh in second place anymore. That was held by Marty McCormick's new Skoda Fabia R5. With more power than his previous S2000 version, Marty was quickest in stage 2 and lay 5 seconds off the lead.
60, 2 left opens, please, 2 left opens.
Less than a second behind in third, Josh Moffat felt he needed to tidy up his driving lines if he was to catch the pair in front. No easy task in these difficult conditions. First event in the new car and first gravel rally in a long time, Keith Cronin was happy to be holding 4th after 2 stages. Defending champion Desi Henry wasn't happy with the tyres or the setup of his similar machine. He was over 20 seconds off the lead in 5th and eager to make changes at service.
3 sharp 4 right in, flippy, 80, turn 2 right in, 2 right in, tidy now, tidy. Tidy, come on, tidy yourself. Okay, 44 left, continues for 130. Don't cut. Continues, don't cut it, no. Holy don't cut it. 100 after, 4 right plus over bumps, tidy yourself up. 4 plus.
Having spent last year adapting to his new Corolla, Adrian Hetherington should be one to watch this season. Fifth after the opener, he slipped to sixth when he hit a rock and broke a wheel near the end of stage 2. Former champion Pat O'Connell was 7th overall and leading Class 20 on his local rally. Tyrone's Niall McCullough was just about keeping his Subaru S14 WRC between the ditches, and he held 8th overall. After some time out of the sport, Liam Regan made a welcome return to the woods and held 9th overall and 2nd in Class 20 in his unique 4x4 Peugeot 206. Less than a second behind, Johnny Leonard was having some oil leakage and brake issues in his Mitsubishi Evo 6 and held 3rd in class and 10th overall. Just over a second behind and 11th was last year's runner-up, Ger Lucy, who held 4th in a tight battle for Class 20 honours. Tarmac regular Brendan Comiskey was getting some gravel miles under his belt in the Skoda Fabia R5 and was 12th overall after 2 stages. More tarmac regulars, Ed Toomey and Sean Hazzett, were breaking new ground with their new Abarth Punto S2000, the first ever on Southern Irish stages.
Ed, you're debuting this beautiful car here behind me. How's it handling for you?
Yeah, we took it for a spin yesterday for the first time, so very different from what I'm used to. 4-wheel drive in S2000 and on gravel as well, so you know we just wanted to take it for a spin.
Sadly, some teething issues with the Punto's differentials left Ed with only front-wheel drive, and eventually he retired. In the 2-wheel drive category, David Crossan was 2nd after stage 1, but a big push on the longer second test saw him take a slender 1-second lead in his Mark II Escort. Quickest on the opener was the Toyota Starlet of Shane McGurr. The defending champion fell to 2nd place after stage 2, where he got held up by the ailing Escort of David Condell on stage 2. Condell later retiring. John Gordon was 3rd, just 2 seconds further back, in what was shaping up to be a titanic tussle for the top spot. Mickey Conlon is usually on the pace of the front runners, but the former champion's Escort was down on power and over half a minute in arrears. Setting the pace in the junior class was Derek Mackerel in his newly rebuilt and newly resprayed Nova. He had over 30 seconds to spare on Shane Keneally, who was debuting his new Honda Civic.
And turn 5 left uphill. 5 left uphill. Into long 2 right over crest. And 2 left over crest opens, 1 left over crest.
Having missed the final 2 rounds last year due to injury, 2016 junior class winner Stephen Dixon was finding his feet again and held 3rd in his Fiesta R2. 4th was Johnny Mulholland. Backed by his father's car dealership, Johnny's hoping to mount a challenge for the junior title this year in his Hyundai i20.
40, flat 6 left over crest, okay, 40, 6 right, and 6 left, over flat crest, 40.
Guys, father and son duo, it's lovely to see you together. Johnny, you are in the juniors division here.
Yeah, we are doing the Force Championship this year. Give it a crack and see how it goes.
And of course, John, lots of experience under your belt. I'm sure you've got great advice for him.
Yeah, well, I've been at it for over 30 years. It's a fantastic sport, fantastic people. So just here to give Johnny a bit of moral support and get the checkbook out and I pay the bills.
A brand new innovation for 2017 is the introduction of the M. O'Brien Plant Hire Junior 1000 class for 16 to 18-year-olds. Jason Murphy in a C-Sport run Peugeot 107 was the leading driver after 2 stages.
First stage, very nervous, but when we done it there again, I was happy enough.
It's crazy to think that the navigator's having to drive in between the stages for you, as you're not allowed on the road technically.
Yeah, it's a great rest though in between the stages. I do go for a sleep on the road section, so it's handy enough that way.
Local lad Alex Byrne, part of the Carrick Motor Club Youth Sports Project, slid his similar machine into a ditch on stage 2, but was determined to finish his first rally.
Alex, you must be delighted to be taking part in this rally today.
Oh, it's amazing, yeah. Great experience. It's fantastic to be here, like, and we wouldn't be here without all the sponsors that are on the car, like, they all made it happen, and big thanks to those. It's really enjoyable.
The Junior 1000 competitors could do worse than seek advice from vastly experienced past master John Coyne, who was home from California in his Sunbeam.
John, you've been rallying for years and years, since 1969.
That's right, yeah, 69. We were national champions in 77 and tarmac champions in 82. And now I'm 67 and just out for a little bit of fun.
John wasn't the only one out for a little fun, and these fans weren't disappointed as a second drive through a Henny and Slievenamon stages got underway. Sam Moffat was quickest again through the opener, albeit by just 9/10 of a second from younger brother Josh. Second best once more through Slievenamon. Sam's overall lead remained 5 seconds after 4 stages. It was an improved loop for Josh, who edged ahead of Marty McCormick on stage 3 and was 2 seconds quicker than Sam on stage 4, setting up an epic showdown on the 2 runs through Gurchin in the afternoon. Despite slipping to 3rd, Marty McCormick was more than happy with his first outing in the new car.
Left, 60, stop right over crest, we're turning acute left down.
Still holding 4th, Keith Cronin took a combined 35 seconds off his previous times through the stages as he got to grips with his new machine. Falling further behind in 5th, Desi Henry's improvement through the stages wasn't as much as he'd hoped for. The defending champ still not happy with the setup of his Skoda.
Again, flat 6 over crest, bump 60 over bump, in. 5 right in, flat made it, 60. 5 left minus, opens over 80. Opens over 80 now. 5 left, 60 over crest in, late 4 left minus.
There was a change at the head of the two-wheel drive battle where John Gordon's attack on the repeat loop saw him take the narrowest of leads, 0.1 of a second ahead of former leader David Crossan, who lost some time catching a slower car on stage 4. Matters were worse for Shane McGurr, whose challenge ended when his Starlet suffered a broken rear differential at the end of stage 3. This promoted Mickey Condon's Down and Power Escort to 3rd in the two-wheel drive standings as the crews headed back to service in Carrick and Shure before the afternoon stages.
John, you've just stepped out from behind the wheel. How are you feeling?
Yeah, good. Lovely run through the stages that time. Didn't cut up too rough and no problem so far.
Sam, tough stages, but you're in the lead.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. Great stages, and Josh seems to be coming back at me now, so we're 1 and 2.
Yeah, it's very close out there, and 2 really long stages to go, so you never know what could happen.
How excited are you for stage 5?
Yeah, it's a long, tough one. We're going to try and go through it here on the laptop here and see what we can make of it, but yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Josh wasn't the only driver eager to do some swatting before the big test.
Marty, stage 5 is coming up. You're going through the notes here.
Yeah, we're just having a quick look over things, check the corners, and try and look for anything that may catch us out there this afternoon.
And it's great to have you back in the forestry. Overall today, how have you been getting on?
Yeah, look, we've been absolutely loving it. You know, it's our first rally in the new car, and to be mixing it with all the guys, being on the pace with them, we're absolutely delighted.
So with 4 stages down, there's just over 30 seconds separating the top 5 crews. And with 2 runs over the gargantuan Gurchin stage to come, it's all to play for at the Willie Lockman Forest Rally. Join us after the break. Welcome back to the Shure Valley between counties Tipperary, Waterford and Kilkenny, where the closing stages of the Willie Lockman Forest Rally are about to get underway.
Welcome back to the Valvoline Motorsport Ireland National Forestry Championship. And as I stand here at the start of stage 5, there's been nothing but talk about the epic 22 kilometres that lies ahead. It's going to be a serious challenge for all the competitors.
Having set quickest time on the last stage before the break, Josh Moffat continued where he'd left off and set a scorching time through stage 5 to take the lead from older brother Sam. The margin between them just 6 seconds with 1 stage to go. By contrast, Sam felt tentative and untidy through the demanding stage, setting 4th quickest time, and can only hope he hasn't left himself too much to do on the final test. Keith Cronin has been improving steadily throughout the day in his new machine, and his second fastest time saw him climb to 3rd overall. Having spent the day tweaking the setup in his Skoda, Desi Henry was finally on the pace and climbed to 4th place despite a flat tyre sustained during the first run over Gurchin.
Flat 6 right over crest, 80. Then flat Kia 6 right over crest from Kia on 40. Then Kia on this one, then flat 6 right over jump here now. Flat 6 and then Kia 6 right over jump. Kia on this one, Kia and flat crest and flat jump and dip 80. Flat crest jump and flat 7 and dip past the 3 then 300 up the mid, okay? Well done. Flat now, flat 6 left over crest and slowing crest only 20, turn 2 right, slippage, come back. Oh, you're fine here on the handbrake. Park there.
Losing out to the increased pace of Henry was a similar machine of Marty McCormick, who was still happy to be 5th on his first event in the new car. The second Skoda to suffer a puncture on Gurchin was the Fabia R5 of Brendan Comiskey. It proved costly for the resurgent Comiskey, who had slipped from 8th place to 27th overall. Back at service before the final stage, the chips were down and the stakes were high as the top dogs in the hunt for the win took one last chance to go over their notes.
Guys, you're obviously looking at the DVD there. Stage 5 went really well. Josh, you took the lead.
Yeah, definitely. It was a good stage for us. We had a really good rhythm through it and a really fast stage. We enjoyed it.
Second?
Yeah. I had the opposite. We bit untidy driving towards the start. I think we lost a bit of time there. So we need to get these notes right and see if we can make the time back.
Due to safety concerns, the organisers decided to shorten the final stage, which would now be less than half of its original length. But before we see who takes the overall honours, we round up the class winners first. And taking the opening round win in the all-new Junior 1000 Championship were Jason and Matthew Murphy from Mayo.
It was great to get out in the first place, and it was the icing on the cake to win it.
Taking the win in the overall 1600cc junior class were Shane Keneally and Ger Connors in their new Honda Civic.
Yeah, we're delighted now to come out with the win. Like, first day out in front wheel drive with a couple of big moments on some of the stages, but we got to finish anyway and we got to win.
Former national and tarmac champion John Coyne won the historic class, with Christy Farrell navigating in the Talbot Sunbeam. Raising awareness for the Give Blood, Give Platelets cause, Seamus Heaney and Michael Culleton took the Class 1 win in the Honda Civic. Graham Colfer and David Woodcock won Class 2 at a canter in their Honda Integra, the Dubliners clearly loving the bumps and jumps of Gurchin.
40 over the bumps, caution, to a 2 right in, 40, to a 2 left, opens. 2 left, 2 right, 2 left again. To 1 left, 100, right in the next crest, 2 left bumps. Oh, left on the next crest, 1 right, 3 right, 80 over mud. Care 1 right, crest jump, 1 right again, jump. 80 after it, 1 right again, jump. Oh, jump again, dip. 80 crest and jump right in the next crest, dip past the trees, 300 up the middle.
Finishing 5th in Group N was Atlanta-based Irishman Patsy Keenan, with Marty Brady on the notes.
Care 5 right in over crest, be neat. 5 right in neat. 40, flat jump into 6 right through finish. Flat jump into 6 right and jump again. You're done, you're finished. You're finished, you're finished.
4th in class went to Ashley Dixon and Larkin Moore.
Turn hairpin left, tight and slippy. 100, turn hairpin left, tight and slippy. 100 out. 6 left plus, okay.
Conor McCourt opted for gravel roads over a skiing holiday to take 3rd in the production class with navigator Caelan McKenna. Niall Devine and Damien Duffin had a few slides in their snow-white Subaru before finishing 2nd in Class 4 and 17th overall. But taking the Group N Class 4 win by 9 seconds were Paul Britton and George Tinsley, who finished 15th overall in another Subaru. Niall McCullough had led Class 7 and held 9th overall before retiring after Stage 4. Scottish visitor Sean Sinclair had been 8th overall before retiring with power steering issues after a heavy landing. A consistent drive saw New York-based Longford man Enda McCormick win Class 7 and finish 16th overall.
And easy over bumps to a 4 left tight. 4 left tight. Into 6 right. And 6 left over crest, 100. Left and crest.
Pascal O'Shea and Robbie Hennessy won Class 10 in the Mark II Escort. Jonathan Dinsmore and Patrick Harding won Class 11F in their Honda Civic. Chris Sims and Mo Downey took second in Class 12, but net maximum championship points as class winners Alan and James Cummins were not registered for the series. In Class 13, a fine drive by Owen McMacken ended unceremoniously with this Stage 5 off. John Gordon and Thomas Wedlock led the two-wheel drive battle going into Stage 5, but mechanical trouble forced a bitterly disappointing retirement on the pair. This promoted Damien McGowran and Darren Kern to third in class in their BMW 320. Second in class and 14th overall went to Mickey Conlon and Kieran McPhillips. But taking the two-wheel drive win and 12th overall were David Crossan and Damien Fleming.
David, you're taking the win in the two-wheel drive. A great start to your championship.
Yeah, it's great to get the win on the first one. We won the last round, so I hadn't won all year, so there's 2 in a trot, so it's like a bus coming threes, hopefully.
To the overall top 10 now, and taking 10th place after some early setup trouble in his new Fiesta WRC was Martin Kearns with navigator Anthony Nestor. Ger Lucy and JJ Kremen made it through the fading light of Stage 6 to finish 9th overall in the Mitsubishi Evo 8. Johnny Leonard and Niall Burns took 8th place despite some mechanical issues with their Evo 6. Former champion Pat O'Connell had to settle for 7th overall, but won Class 20 with Mark Wiley calling the notes in the Evo 9. Adrian Hetherington celebrated his birthday with the Class 15 win and finished 6th overall with navigator Gary Nolan. Marty McCormick had been in a podium position for most of the day, but he had to settle for 5th place in the end with navigator David Moynihan.
Flat crest and flat right over crest. 40, 1 right, 40. Keir right over jump, 60. 1 right, 100.
A frustrating day finished well enough for Desi Henry and Liam Moynihan, who overhauled McCormick on the final test to finish 4th. It was a cool, calm, collected performance from reigning tarmac champions Keith Cronin and Mike Galvin, who took 3rd overall on their first event in the new Fiesta R5. For Sam Moffat and James Fulton, a concerted effort to retake the lead they had lost on the previous stage fell agonisingly short, and they had to settle for the runner-up spot just 0.6 of a second behind winners Josh Moffat and Stephen Thornton. The Monaghan men were probably the only crew to be glad that the final stage had been shortened, but they were worthy winners nonetheless.
Josh, home in first place. You nipped it from Sam. You must be over the moon.
Definitely are. Those stages out there today, they could have claimed us at any point, or anybody there. Such tricky conditions, and Sam pushed us to the very end there. He was driving really fast today, so over the moon to get it.
You must be gutted.
Yeah, absolutely. 0.6 of a second. We really went for it in the last stage. Ifs and buts if the last stage hadn't been shortened, But I really enjoyed the day, and good pace, and a lot to take from it.
So there's confirmation of that dramatic finish to the Willie Lockman Forest Rally. And a look at the leaderboard after round 1 shows we could be in for one corker of a season.
Josh Moffat takes the win here in Carrick on Shore after a sensational drive, and what a start to his championship. From me and all the On the Limit Sports team, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.